ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذ من دونه آلهة يردن الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قوم يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة وأحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض من أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالأرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أن حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا شريك لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا نطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتاز اليوم أيها المجرمون ولم أحد إليكم يا بني آدم لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد زل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تأكلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مزيا ولا يرجعون ومن نؤمره نكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه شعر ما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان يحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثل نسي خلقا قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون اللهم صل على محمد الفاتحة
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات صلی. برای خوشنودی امام زمان بلندتر صلوات. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. سجاد ہے سجاد سجاد ہے سجاد سجاد رہائی پا کر بھی پردیس سے گھر کو آ کر بھی جب اشک بہاتے رہتے تھے زینب سے دکھ دیکھے نہ گئے. ایک روز تڑپ یہ پوچھا سجاد تو کب تک روئے گا. اس وقت میرے مولا نے کہا اماں اپنے مقدر پر صغرا کے سوالوں پر کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، 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 کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ اے میری پھوپھی انصاف تو کر، نیزے پہ جو دیکھے باپ کا سر، ہو سات سفر میں وہ جس نے چیرا تھا علی اکبر کا جگر۔ دروں کی سزا ملتی ہو جہاں بچوں کو اشک بہانے پر، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ تم چپ چپ کر خوں روتی ہو، میں روؤں تو کیوں کہتی ہو رویا نہ کرو، اے لال میرے بھائی کو گوا کر بیٹھی ہوں، معصوم بہن کو زندہ میں جو چھوڑ کے تنہا آیا گھر، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ نیزے سے گرا عباس کا سر، میں دیکھ چکا ہوں وہ منظر، نیزے سے گرا عباس کا سر، میں دیکھ چکا ہوں وہ منظر، دربار میں کیوں مر نہ گیا جب نام تمہارا لے لے کر، کہتا تھا لئی زینب ہے کہاں، لے آؤ یہاں پر بے چادر، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ سب قتل ہوئے میں زندہ تھا، بیمار سہی لڑ سکتا تھا، شرمندہ ہوں میں اصغر سے، شرمندہ ہوں میں اصغر سے، وہ تیر و ستم سے لڑ تو گیا، وہ تیر میرے کیوں کر نہ لگا، جس تیر سے گھائل تھا اصغر، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ سر تخت میں تھا بابا کا رکھا، اور تخت پہ قاتل بیٹھا تھا، سر تخت میں تھا بابا کا رکھا، اور تخت پہ قاتل بیٹھا تھا، دندان مبارک پر ان کے خوش ہو کے چھڑی وہ مارتا تھا، افسوس میں کچھ بھی کر نہ سکا، اب تک ہے اسی سے درد جگر، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد، کیوں نہ روئے سجاد۔ بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات۔ محمد و آل محمد صلوات. آباد ہوئی کرب و بلا، حجر مدینہ برباد ہوئی میں. یوں حضرت زینب نے کہا پیٹ کے سینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. ایک دن تھا کہ چادر میرے سر سے گری تھی، سورج بھی نہ نکلا، سر ننگے پھراتا ہے مجھے آج کمینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. ایک دن تھا کہ اس شہر کی کرتی تھی میں شاہی، اور آج تباہی، بے غسل پڑا مور نبوت کا نگینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. بھائی موئے، بیٹے موئے، زندہ میں پھنسے ہیں، وارث نہیں کوئی، عباس نہیں، جیتے نہیں، شاہ مدینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. یہ نیل تماچوں کے میرے منہ پہ پڑے ہیں، میں کس کو دکھاؤں، نیزے کے تلے بیٹھ کے روتی ہے سکینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. قاسم نہیں، اکبر نہیں، عباس نہیں ہے، عابد ہے تو بیمار، یہ کیسا پڑا مجھ پہ محرم کا مہینہ، برباد ہوئی میں. آباد ہوئی کرب و بلا، حجرہ مدینہ برباد ہوئی میں. محمد وآل محمد صلوات. بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. فاتحہ. شام والو پہچانو کوفے والو پہچانو کون ہے یہ بے چادر کربلا کی پیغمبر یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے حیدری گرانا ہے فاطمے وراثت ہے قید والی حافظ امامت ہے قید نے بلائے لی صبر نے دعائیں دی یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ ادائیں سیکھی ہے مرتضیٰ کے مکتب میں جو بھی بات علی میں تھی وہ ملے گی زینب میں. یاد کرو وہ خطبے پتھروں کے دل پگھلے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے. ہر ستم کی منزل کو موڑ کے بدل دے گی. ایک زباں سے بھائی کا انتقام لے لے گی. درباروں کو شرمایا بازاروں کو رلوایا یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے. جو بچا تھا کربل میں کام کر دیا تو نے. مقصد شہادت کو عام کر دیا تو نے. آج ہو نمائش ہے تیری ساری کوشش ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے. تیری بیردائی تو حرمت رسول بنی. بالوں سے چھپا چہرہ وارث بطول بنی. رات کو جنازہ ماں کا دن میں بیٹی بے پردہ یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے. شام والوں پہچانو کوفے والوں پہچانو یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے یہ زینب ہے. بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. فاتحہ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Sayyid Mohammedhassan Alsheraa, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Surah Al-Fatiha is requested for the Isala Sawab of Marhumeen listed on the screen and for all Marhumeen. Al-Fatiha. Ayama Yujib is requested for the names listed on the screen and for all those in need here and elsewhere. Let us recite together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. عما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Registration for Masjid Hayy Weekend Islamic School is now open. We are currently accepting enrollments for 2020-2021 academic year for the following programs: the children's programs, grade K through 10, ages 5 onwards, and adult programs. To register, please go to the link on the screen or on the email. For those parents attending the Arbaeen night program with their young children, arrangements have been made to provide your children with activities they can do in the car while you're sitting in the car listening to the majlis. Please register on the link sent in the newsletter. The deadline for registration is today, October 5th. Tuesday program. Tomorrow, there will be a gents Q&A session with Sayyid Mohammedhassan Alsheraa after the regular majlis program in the men's baraza area. This invitation is open to all men of all ages. There will be food for sale available from Baraza town. Please see the flyer on the screen or in the email sent for more details and order in advance. Ashra Zainabiyya program will be held from today onwards up to October 8th at Masjid al-Hayy, inshallah. We're honored to have Sayyid Mohammedhassan Alsheraa from Dearborn, Michigan as our guest speaker during these nights. We look forward to welcoming the entire Orlando community to join us on the night of Arbaeen, Wednesday, October 7th, for a live program outside Masjid al-Hayy in the drive-in setup. If you have yet to make the journey to Karbala or your heart is aching to see the generosity of Aba Abdullah alayhi salam once again, then be sure to visit at Masjid al-Hayy on Arbaeen night, where a number of mawqibs will be serving guests of Imam Hussain with different things, including food and chai, and as well as medical checkups and souvenirs. The event will start at 7:45 p.m., at which time niyaz will be distributed. The Ladies Zainabiyya program will also be held from starting today onwards all the way to October 7th at 2:15 p.m. at the Masjid and online. Sister Tasneem Kirmani will be reciting the majlis. Please do check the weekly newsletter for details of all these programs and the emails that come through. Finally, the Muharram Fund is still open, and we encourage anyone who has not yet contributed to please do so. Any amount is welcome. At this time, I'd like to invite Sayyid Mohammedhassan Alsheraa to come recite Sunnah Majlis. We are honored to have him here today from Michigan, and please welcome him with a loud salawat. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
وعجل فرجها. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيب إله العالمين، أبا القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى روحك وبدنك الطاهرة صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. Altogether, Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein wa ala ashab al-Hussein. Assalamu alaykum jami'an ya shuhada Karbala wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أما بعد يقول الله في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وسيق الذين اتقوا ربهم إلى الجنة زمرا آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوا على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Respected scholars, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The comparative relationship between Imam Abu Abdullah al-Hussein salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh and the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a very much understudied analysis, in the idea that many are able to describe the relationship of Imam Sayyidu Shuhada with those of this world. They can describe to you the relationship of Imam with his family, with his adversaries, with his companions, and so on. However, not many are able to describe and explain the relationship of Sayyidu Shuhada with those of the spiritual world. What was Imam's relationship like with the likes of Jibreel, for example, Mikael, Israfil, the angels in total? Sayyidu Shuhada has numerous, according to the traditions and books of literature, engagements, interactions, moments, discussions with these creations in the spiritual world. It's vital we analyze Imam's relationship with the angels, because Imam's relationship with those of this world is a lesson to us. How he interacted with those around him teaches us lessons. However, Imam's relationship with those of the spiritual world is a lesson to them. Now one might ask, if it's a lesson for them, those of the spiritual world, how he engaged with them, then why does it concern me? Ultimately, they are the recipients of that knowledge and benefit and lesson of Sayyid al-Shuhada that they will receive. Then why should I bother myself to examine such a relationship? To me, enough is what Imam did in this world. Imam's relationship with those in the spiritual world is indicative of his proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that itself is a lesson for us. For angels are indications of one's proximity to the Lord. However, before analyzing Imam's relationship with the angels of God, it's vital and pertinent to understand, is there even such a concept of insan engaging with the angels of Rabbul Alameen in this world? Is that even something possible? Before I ask what Imam's relationship was with the angels, in order to understand his significant status in the spiritual world above this world, because indeed the inhabitants of the heavens know Abu Abdullah better than the inhabitants of this earth, I have to first understand what is my relationship with the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Primarily, we have three moments in our lives that the books of tradition, ahadith and narrations, including the Holy Quran, indicate are moments in which we have established relationships with the angels. From that moment, we will then examine how does Aba Abdullah establish a relationship with them, or is it they who try to establish a relationship with him? Number one is with the event of the night of destiny. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a vow and promise in the Holy Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. That the night of destiny, many will describe it as the night of power. These are synonymous words with that understanding of qadr, indeed. But on that particular night, angels come down. Okay, what do the angels do when they're coming down? Are they just coming down to enjoy our company? Absolutely not. Allah is ordering them come down. Not just the angels, وَالرُّوحِ, this something known as the ruh, because the books of tafasir give an ambiguous answer to what this could be. The ruh, many have indicated it to be Jibreel alayhi salam, the most grand angels of Allah. And why is Jibreel the most grand? Because he had the honor of being the private angel to come down to our holy Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Therefore, the first opinion as to what this ruh might be, the soul, the spirit, this title, is probably Jibreel. Others have given the opinion that it might be another angel, more grand, so powerful and significant that it only comes down once a year, to emphasize the significance of this night of destiny. The response to that view is perhaps if this was a grand angel, then it should have came down to Rasulullah other than Jibreel, because Jibreel, being the greatest of Allah's creation, deserves nothing short than the greatest angel to come down to him. So many have referred to the opinion that this could be, for all intents and purposes, Jibreel alayhi salam. In any case, the angels descend. What do on that night of destiny? They come down to the mu'mineen and the mu'minat and all those who are striving to improve their relationship with their Lord. And they are allowing their hajat to get closer to the jinan, to the heavens. They beseech, they come and they assist in that spiritual development of when we are reciting the various supplications, Joshan, Kabir, Saghir, reciting the multiple supplications. The angels are there emphasizing that these efforts are not going in vain, they are not being missed out. And so that the angels make it a point in their mission to take these hasanat and the ajr and the hajat and the deeds and everything we're doing straight to the heavens instantly. So they are interacting, they are engaging, they are allowing us to gain a sense of proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we probably did not have the moment to establish prior to that night of destiny. Therefore, on the first level, we all have a relationship with these angels. Not just any angel, even that grand angel, Ar-Ruh. Everyone on the first level has that relationship. Furthermore, everyone has a relationship with what is referred to as the documenting angels. These are angels that document our actions in this world. Later on, our actions will be revealed in our grave. Munkar and Nakir will ask you about every action that was happening. And on the Day of Judgment, this will be displayed. And Allah will judge us accordingly. Now, to make sure that everything is being done justly, because Allah is, amongst His titles, Adil, the most judge, the most just, Allah has angels documenting our actions. Many have referred to this as the angels that are alongside you, such that after Salah, what do we see people normally doing? They look to the right and they say Salam, and they look to the left and they say Salam. Is this of the views and opinions within the school of Ahlul Bayt that you physically have to turn to an angel sitting to your right, to your left, because they're always following you? The angels are not limited based on our worldly needs, such that they have to be here and have to be there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them abnormal capabilities. They're not humans. They can do what they want instantly. So some have referred to this as a somewhat exaggerated gesture, although there is absolutely nothing wrong with to express the salam to the angels that are documenting your actions. Because if there is one person you want to make happy, it's these angels. Make sure when you write that I did something good, you write it good. But when I did something bad, maybe think twice before writing that. So you want to make sure they're happy. So some might go to the extent of when they complete their prayer, you may have noticed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The angels of Allah are not limited by time and space. Absolutely not. Therefore, when we do these gestures, it is perhaps with the emphasis on the I am being aware and conscious that all my actions are being documented. And I make sure that when they oversee my actions through the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they do so and only document that which is useful to me. And that is why it is narrated in the hadith by Rasulullah and Sadiq al-Muhammad salamullahi alayhim, in that the angel which documents your hasanat, instantly the moment you committed that good deed, the good act, the angel documents it, preserves it. But the moment you commit a sin, the angel that documents that, Allah orders this angel, give it 7 hours according to certain traditions, then write it. Why Rabbul Alameen 7 hours and then write the sin? Why the delay? Perhaps they might seek repentance before you write it down. So give it 7 hours. Look how merciful your Lord is. Could have said instantly, the moment, write it down. They stole, they cheated, they harmed, they oppressed, they committed acts of injustice and tyranny. Document it. No, 7 hours. They might do istighfar. Give them that opportunity. Look how Allah prioritizes the rahmah in our lives. Not out to punish us. But these angels are where? They are there. They are documenting our actions. So if there's anyone you want to have a good relationship with, it has to be these guys. So they're not going anywhere. Just like how there is a certain devil and iblis, as shaitan, that is dispatched to every mu'min, irrespective of their lofty status in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah makes it such that the angels are there with you as well, to balance what would be considered an imbalance. In which sense? There's a devil trying to do waswas to me, right? There's a devil there? Ya Allah, give me an angel as well. Allah will flood your area with angels, don't worry. And we'll have that one devil. One man asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "Oh Rasulullah, you mentioned everyone has a devil following, trying to misguide them. يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ, trying to whisper the evil orders in their hearts and chest. Do you even have one?" Rasulullah replied, "Yes, it is only fair that Allah gives this child to all His creation, but I've locked mine up. I've locked mine up. And you can too. By being aware and conscious of Allah at all times, that devil will be nowhere near you. And what will be in his place? The angels. Amongst them, these documenting angels are always going to be there. Therefore, you find the angels that come down once a year on the event of the night of Qadr and destiny. The thousands and leagues of these angels, amongst them the greatest, Ar-Ruh. And you have the documenting angels as well. But you also have another angel. The angels that are referred to as the proximity angels. These are the ones that surround you, that are there with you. And these ones are contingent. The first two are fixed. The first two are fixed. They're always going to come and are always there. On the night of destiny, it's not going to be the case where they never come down because you've sinned so much. No, they're going to come down. This is mentioned in the Quran. And the ones that are documenting, they're always going to stay. But the third category, they're contingent. Whether you maintain on that level of faith necessary, they will come to you. If not, they will avoid you. Therefore, there are some actions in our lives that prevent these angels from coming to us, such as being in an impure state. It may not be out of haram reasons, out of impermissible reasons. No, maybe naturally you entered an impure state spiritually. We can think of multiple cases. Prolonging that state, brothers and sisters, makes these angels that come near us to be a source of blessing around our lives, or in our lives, stay away. Because we are in an impure state. Why do you think it's recommended to stay in wudu? Why? I'm not going to pray every single second of the day, or touch and read the Quran every single second. So why is it emphasized to always be in the state? For these angels to be near you. Spiritual purity attracts the pure creations of Allah. Then what do they do when they're beside me? They assist me in ways where I don't consider or even perceive. Like how there's this devil that you don't consider and perceive. These motivate you to do good. They are around you. They are a source of blessing. Plethora of traditions indicate that the house which has Quran read publicly, the angels fill it. Haven't you heard that when a guest visits your house, well, who comes alongside with the guest? The angels, because it is emphasized to have established a brotherhood, a sisterhood in this religion. So when you bring brothers and sisters to your home, whether it's in a case like iftar, you're about to feed them, or just to enjoy a gathering, the angels visit you alongside them. So if you're making food, make sure you make extra for the angels. No, the angels don't eat. Oh, we don't know that. In any case, they visit with the visitors you have coming, emphasizing brotherhood, sisterhood, emphasizing a decent community, like the community we have here, inshallah ta'ala. So they come. What do they do when they come with me? What do they do when they're around me? They fill my life with blessings. They assist me. Some describe it as having luck. I was very lucky that moment. What do you know? It may have been an angel that inspired you to maybe not continue, to maybe not make that wrong decision, to maybe have inspired you. But how does that happen? When you surround yourself with a lifestyle that is befitting of a Muslim. Music, haram music, is not a type of lifestyle that is necessarily going to attract any angel, brothers and sisters. They won't enter that home. Other gatherings that are for haram purposes, I'm pretty sure the angels don't come along with those visitors, and perhaps the shayateen visit them as well. Other reasons, other purposes, whatever it's done against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels will stay away. And that luck moment we might have felt early on in our spiritual development may no longer be there. Therefore, we find these angels that surround us. The closer we are to Allah spiritually, and if we remain in that pure state spiritually, and if we have very decent, upright friends around us, they are always going to be around us as well. Therefore, the angels that descend on the night of destiny, and the angels that document, these are fixed, but these ones are contingent. These three situations, you find the angels are surrounding us. There's also one more angel, but maybe it's not the most exciting event to mention. The angel of death, of course. Everyone is destined to see that man, and maybe not in the most exciting moments ever. But nonetheless, there's also another relationship. And if there's ever a person, like we mentioned earlier, you want to make sure you are on their good side, it's probably this guy as well. And the tradition indicates something very thought-provoking, that he doesn't only visit us on that final moment. He visits us 5 times a day, whenever we need to pray, and He watches over you. Are you going to spend that moment following what you were told? If you don't, you do not want to return back to your Lord, having been negligent upon what was incumbent upon you. The angel of death, Israel, as he is known, visits us these 5 moments in our days, as well as that last and final day. This basically summarizes the overview of the relationship of the regular insan, whether they are a friend or foe towards the religion of Islam. These angels are around us. Now what about Sayyidul Shuhada, who was the example and leader of all insan, jinn and bashar? How is his relationship like with the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? For we mentioned that Imam's relationship with those of this earth, a lesson to us. His relationship with those in the spiritual world, a lesson to them. And that reflects his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibn Awlawah al-Qummi, the student of Shaykh al-Kulayni, the compiler of Al-Kafi al-Sharif, one of our most prominent works of traditions and ahadith, and Al-Amali of Shaykh al-Tusi, Not to be confused with Al-Amali for Al-Shaykh Al-Saduq. These are two works, Amali for Al-Tusi, and there's one for Amali of Al-Saduq. Al-Amali for Al-Shaykh Al-Tusi and Ibn Qawlawa Al-Qummi, the student of Al-Shaykh Al-Kulayni, the compiler of Al-Kafi, Ibn Qawlawa has in his work, Kamil Al-Ziyarat, the following story about Imam Hussain alayhi salam's relationship with the angels of Allah. Just to add, moreover, Kamil al-Ziyarat of Ibn Qawlawah al-Qummi, the student of Shaykh al-Kulayni as mentioned, not just an ordinary individual, his work, Kamil al-Ziyarat, has been seen by multiple ulama as a very reputable source, in that all the narrators in it are considered reliable. Amongst the ulama who espoused this opinion was Ayatollah al-Uzma as-Sayyid Abu al-Qasim al-Kho'i, a grand scholar of the 20th century. He is of the opinion that in Kamil al-Ziyarat of Ibn Qawlawa al-Qummi, Kamil al-Ziyarat, all the narrators are thuqat, they're reliable. And so the following story is found not just in Kamil al-Ziyarat, it's found also in Tusi's Amali. This story relates to us the moment Sayyid al-Shuhada was born. That was the moment that first introduced to us Imam Hussain and the angels of Allah. What had happened was, when Sayyid al-Shuhada, Salamullahi alayh, was born, you found leagues of angels descending to the earth to go and congratulate Rasulullah on the auspicious occasion of the birth of his grandson. When these angels were descending, you had another angel who was unable to attend this ceremony and congratulate Rasulullah on this auspicious occasion. The traditions indicate this angel was named Futros. Many describe this angel known as Futros. Futros was an angel amongst the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that unfortunately Allah had ordered for something to happen, but the angel was a little bit late in accomplishing the order. As a result, Allah disciplined this angel. The angel didn't disobey Allah. The angel was not negligent, because angels only follow Allah's commandments to the dot. This angel was a bit late. And this is a story we mentioned, found where? In very reputable sources here. The angel was late in achieving. Imagine maybe Allah had ordered the angel to go do something, a bit late in the completing of that order. Okay. As a result, Allah punished this angel by removing his wings. And this angel was sent down to the earth on an island somewhere. When the Imam alayhi salam was born, the angel noticed leagues, thousands, and how many angels are in heaven, descending to the earth. Leading them was Jibreel alayhi salam at the helm. And he was wondering, why are they coming down so suddenly like this? Never seen this happen before. Why? And so Futros on this island, God knows for how many years, called out, "O angels of Allah, come down, I need to ask you something." Jibreel comes down. Jibreel approaches this angel Futros. Now imagine, he has no wings, this is his punishment. Some have looked at the story and evaluated it as such. As we mentioned, the angels do not disobey God. So why would Allah punish him? Well, the angel was a bit late in the order that Allah had ordered the angel to go and accomplish. And therefore, this is how Allah addressed the angels. This angel asked Jibreel, "Oh Jibreel, where are you guys going? I've never seen a wave of you and everyone else coming down to the earth like this. What has happened?" Jibreel said, "O Futros, know that the grandson of Rasulullah was born, Hussain bin Ali, the son of Fatima salamullahi alayha. And we are coming to congratulate the Prophet of God on this happy occasion." Futros said, "May I come with you? Allow me to grab on to you and you take me to the Prophet so that I can congratulate him as well. And perhaps he can beseech the Lord, 'Oh Allah, return my wings back to me.'" Jibreel said, "Okay." Took this angel with him, went straight to the house of Ali and Fatima alayhum as-salam, and the angel came, very shy, very humbled, and he looked at the Holy Prophet, gave his salams, it was his turn, and he said, "Oh Rasulullah, this is my story. Can you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala such that Allah forgives me and returns back my wings?" Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made the dua. And of course the dua of Rasulullah is always mustajab, it's always answered. And then he asked Putros, "Oh Putros, go. Do you see the cradle of Hussein? Go and touch that cradle of Aba Abdullah." Putros went. By touching the cradle of Imam al-Hussein, instantly his wings came out from his back anew. And Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. By touching the cradle, another version indicates by being close to the Imam. But nonetheless, the cradle that has the young Hussein is a blessing that can return wings back to angels. And this indicated to us how Rasulullah loved Imam al-Hussein, that if you want something from me, go to him first. I want something from my Prophet. What do I want? I want my shafa'ah. I want intercession. I don't know if I'm going to be in good hands on the Day of Judgment. But if I'm in your hands, Rasulullah, I'm in good hands. What does Rasulullah want you to do? Go to the one who I love the most, myself, and he is from me, and I am from him. And the angel had his wings returned. You find in Sayyid Hashim al-Bahrani, in his Madinatul Ma'ajiz, a very prominent scholar, indicates to us the following two beautiful stories. Again, another moment when the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go to Abu Abdullah and they are at his disposal. Ayman, this lady who was an upright individual, she was a companion to the Prophet and she participated in the battle of Khaybar and the battle of Badr as a nurse who would heal those who were wounded. This lady came to see Sayyida Zahra salamullahi alayha, and she wanted to assist her. She came to the home of Sayyida Zahra and she tried to inquire, is there anyone around? No one would answer. She mentions, I saw, however, from inside the house, Lady Zahra salamullahi alayha sleeping. And so she must have been working all day. Peace and blessings be upon her. And now she is resting. She, however, noticed something out of the ordinary. This is found where? Sayyid Hashim Bahrani, Madinatul Ma'ajiz. She saw the cradle of Imam al-Hussein rocking back and forth, and no one rocking it. And she heard something. She had heard tasbihat, but she couldn't see who was making the tasbihat. And she had saw the wheat grinder that Lady Zahra salamullahi alayha would constantly be working with to prepare wheat and food, spinning and turning by itself. Confused and disorientated, she later went to the Holy Prophet and asked him, Ya Rasulullah, I saw something I could not believe and understand. Rasulullah asked, what did you see? She says, I went to go help my lady, Sayyida Zahra salamullahi alayha. And I had noticed that she was tired. Rasulullah replied, she was fasting and she wanted to rest. Peace and blessings be upon her. And so she took her time to rest. However, when Lady Fatima rests, her worship never rests. So Allah sent down Mikael, the angel, closest amongst the closest of angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to come down and work on that wheat grinder that she would constantly be working with. And Allah sent down Jibreel to come and do tasbihat of Sayyida Zahra alayha salam, for she would never stop the tasbih of Zahra. Many of us, we forget tasbihat of Zahra, unfortunately. It's the sunnah of Our Lady, the Lady of Light. And when she couldn't continue it out of being extremely tired, Allah sent down an angel to continue it for her. And Allah sent down Israfil to rock the cradle of Hussein and keep him asleep. We find the angels take it with great honor to be at the service of Imam al-Hussein. Khuddam of Hussein is not limited to the people and inhabitants of this earth. No, the inhabitants of the spiritual world as well take honor being servants of Aba Abdullah. The other tradition indicates from Imam As-Sadiq, Salamullahi alayh, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, that one day Jibreel descended and he went to the home of Ali and Fatima. And when he went to the home, he saw Lady Zahra, another incident when she was extremely tired and could no longer continue tending to some of the needs. And he saw the young Hussein sleeping in his cradle, but struggling to sleep because he needs to be tended to, obviously, as any child. And so Jibreel shook the cradle of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. O you, the one who Gabriel, the archangel, the closest to the heavens, rocks your cradle. How worthy is it to go and visit you? And how unworthy am I these days to not have had that honor to go and visit you? When by touching your cradle wings return, then what about touching the dharih that surrounds your beheaded body? And you find Sayyid al-Shuhada after his death. The angels still come to his service. Of course, many have indicated that there are certain traditions that highlight on the day of Karbala, the angels came to Aba Abdullah's aid. Some indicate this tradition found in Bihar al-Anwar of Al-Allam al-Majlisi, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayh, that two incidences, one in Karbala, one on the way to Kufa. When the angels came down and they said, Ya Sayyidu Shuhada, we were there with your father, with your grandfather Rasulullah in Badr, and we assisted him. We're going to help you today. And so Sayyidu Shuhada said, no, return. Today, I am only going to be the one sacrificing myself and my family. Angels will not participate. This tradition is found, perhaps not the most sound of traditions as it is not narrated in multitudes, but nonetheless it is there. You find after Sayyidu Shuhada was martyred. Today in the ziyarah, what do we say? Assalamu alayka wa ala al-malaikati al-muhdiqeen bik. Peace be upon you and upon the angels that surround you. Muhdiqeen comes from hadaqa. Hadaqa means to circumambulate. The eye is called hadaqat al-ayn, the color of the eye that surrounds the pupil, because it surrounds it. Peace be upon you and upon the angels that surround your grave. Angels still today are surrounding his grave. Another, Assalamu alaykum ya malaikat Allah al-muqimin fi hadha al-maqam al-sharif. Peace be upon you and upon the angels that reside in this holy land. And then there are angels not just surrounding, they live where Aba Abdullah is buried. And not just that, on the day of judgment, not after he died, today, on the day of judgment, there will be an incident. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقُوا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا. And those who had consciousness of their Lord will be driven to heaven in groups and in multitudes. Allah, 2 ayat before, says something else though. وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ زُمَرًا. And those who disbelieved will be driven to hell in groups. I understand why they need to be driven and pushed, because they don't want to go to hell. It's natural, it's punishment, I'm afraid. So the angels have to push them. But why do you have to push the mu'mineen to get into heaven? Don't you just want to go? If you see the pearly gates open to heaven, aren't you just going to run? I don't need the angels to force me to go. So why does Allah say 2 ayat later, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقُوا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا? Why? You don't need to force me. I'll still go to heaven. Ask yourself, right? You don't need angels to force you. I will do it. Ayatollah Sheikh Bashir al-Najafi in Najaf, Hafidhahullah, says this exact same question a few months back. He says, I was always confused. Why? Why do you have to force the mu'min? The kafir I understand, but the mu'min, why? And then I found 2 traditions that made the most sense to me, like I couldn't imagine. He says, on the day of judgment, the khuddam of Imam al-Hussain, specifically the servants, all of us inshallah, the servants of Sayyid al-Shuhada will be granted the shafa'ah of Imam al-Hussain, the intercession to go into heaven. However, when they are granted that shafa'ah, they will plead to Allah, Oh Allah, we spent all of our lives serving this man. Can you give us the honor to see his blessed face? And Allah will ask Sayyid al-Shuhada, they want to see you, O Hussein. Would you grant them that? Imam Hussain will allow that to happen. And the angels will make way and say, "O servants of Hussain, look at the blessed face of Hussain." The servants of Hussain. Not some, the servants, that's it. The one who washes and cleans and gets the shoes organized. The servant of Hussain. Look at Hussain. You spent your life serving him, now you can look at him. They will be too distracted by the face of Hussain than to care to go to heaven. And the angels will come down and force them into heaven. And then he says, Ayatollah Shaykh Bashir al-Najfi, that's when it made sense to me. Two traditions that say the same thing from reliable sources. That the Khuddam of Aba Abdullah will be told that now you can look at your master for once. Go to Jannah. Why do we want to go to Jannah if Hussain is right in front of us? The angels will come and they'll have to drive them into heaven. Then what happened, brothers and sisters, concluding? With the angels and Sayyid al-Shuhada, the moment he died. We said when he was born. We said right now. We said in the Day of Judgment. But what happened to the angels when they saw Sayyid al-Shuhada on that day? Do you know who narrates to us the hadith of what happened in the heavens? What happened the second Sayyid al-Shuhada was killed? Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman and his Ziyara al-Nahiya al-Muqaddasa. He is the only one that tells us. You need an infallible to tell you what's going on in the heavens. Imam al-Mahdi says that on that day, what happened was this. فقام ناعيك عند قبر جدك الرسول فنعاك إليه بالدمع الهطول. And when the announcer came to the grave of your prophet, the messenger, who is this announcer? The angel. He began to inform him of what happened to you, with tears flowing his face. قائلا, saying, يا رسول الله قتل صبطك وفتاك. O Rasulullah, your grandson and boy was killed. واستبيح أهلك وحماك. And your family and supporters became halal to kill. واستبيت بعدك ضراريك ووقع المحظور بعترتك وذويك. And what happened was your family became captives and trial fell upon them. How did the Rasulullah reply hearing what had happened to him and Hussein? What does Imam Mahdi say? He says, فَانْزَعَجَ الرَّسُولُ. Rasulullah became depressed after hearing what happened. وَبَكَى قَلْبُهُ الْمَهُولُ. And his heart broke and began to cry. وَعَزَّاهُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْأَنْبِيَاءُ. And the angels came and every prophet approached him and gave him their condolences. وَفُجِعَتْ بِكَ أُمُّكَ الزَّهْرَاءُ. And your mother Zahra became distressed and in shock as to what befell you. وَاخْتَلَفَ جُنُودُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ تُعَزِّي أَبَاكَ أَمِيرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And leagues of angels came down to your father Ali, offering him their condolences. وَأُقِيمَتْ لَكَ الْمَآتِمْ فِي أَعْلَى الْعِلِّيِّينَ. And Majlis al-Hussein was held for you in the highest places of heaven. وَلَطَمَتْ عَلَيْكَ الْحُورُ الْعِينَ. And the hur, the maidens of heaven, began to do latam for you, saying, brothers and sisters, all together, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, مأتم الحسين, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein, مأتم الحسين, وحسين, وحسين.
یا حسین یا حسین.
یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. تھی یہ سب کو خبر یہ جہاں سب ہے تیرا، ہاں مگر یہ صلہ تجھ کو امت سے ملا. تھا تیرا سارا تن تیروں سے اتنا بھرا، گر کے پھر رک گیا تیروں پہ لاشا تیرا. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. انت قربان للہ انت للدین فدا، دمك السلاولا قدس الباري سنا. يا حسين يا حسين سرت للدنيا منار. يا حسين يا حسين ذكرك أدهى شعار. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. How Yazid tried to bury your name into the sand, cover up Karbala, but this was Allah's command, that Hussein will live on in this world in every land. Till the end we will mourn our master's final stand. Ye zameen آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. جس لیے ہائے زینب تڑپتی رہ گئی، جس لیے عمر بھر رویا عابد خون بھی، میری ماں بہن وہ ردا پہنا کرو، شام کے داستان سے ملا کیا کچھ نہیں. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. در سے یہ مل رہا ہے ہمیں عباس سے، اپنے بازو اگر جسم سے دونوں کٹے، جسم سے خون کا دریا اگر بہتا رہے، بس ہمیں شاہ حسین بے وفا جاری رہے. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہ رہا ہے یا حسین. انت حرات العبید ذکرك سار نشید، قطعوا منك الوريد يا غريبا يا شهيد. يا حسين يا حسين باسمك الدنيا تدور. يا حسين يا حسين قبرك الزاهي نور. یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا
حسین مومنوں کے لہو میں
بہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، یہ زمین آسمان کہہ رہا ہے یا حسین، مومنوں کے لہو میں بہہ رہا ہے یا حسین۔ رحم اللہ من قرأ الفاتحہ۔ یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین، کا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چل کے ہوئے ہیں آنسو آنکھوں کے جام لے لو، کا سلام لے لو سلام لے لو، چل کے ہوئے ہیں آنسو آنکھوں کے جام، حسرت کی صبح لے لو غربت کی شام لے لو، دور صاحب عزا کا آقا سلام لے لو، ٹوٹے ہوئے دلوں کا مڑ کر سلام لے لو، آقا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چل کے ہوئے ہیں آنسو آنکھوں کے جام، چمرے لئی چلائی شمشیر کس گلے پر، صحرا کے دل پہ ظالم خنجر تیرا روا ہے، اے درد دل سنبھلنا یہ وقت انتہا ہے، کا سلام لے لو کہ ہوئے ہیں آنسو آنکھوں، کیسی وجہ سے اب تک آواز آ رہی ہے، دور کی کچھ در کی دلہن بھی مقتل میں جا رہی ہے، دلہن کے سر سے صحرا قسمت برا رہی ہے، آقا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چلتے ہوئے ہیں آنسو کے جا، عباس کے علم کی یاد آئے گی نشانی، پانی تو گل چکا ہے ٹکڑے ہے غم سے سینہ، آنسو بہا رہی ہے مشکی زے سکینہ، آقا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چلتے ہوئے ہیں آنسو، دشمن ہوئے مسلمان بے درد آسماں ہے، ڈوبی ہوئی لہو میں پیاسوں کی داستاں ہے، دنیا بدل گئی ہے یا مصطفیٰ بچانا، آقا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چلتے ہوئے ہیں آنسو آنکھیں، یہ کیفیت دلوں کی یہ بے کسی کا عالم، اب سال بھر کہا تم اب سال بھر کہا ہم، یاد آئے گی یہ مجلس یاد آئے گی یہ ماتم، آقا سلام لے لو مولا سلام لے لو، چلتے ہوئے حسین شہید کربلا واویلا، حسین شہید کربلا واویلا، حسین شہید کربلا واویلا، لبیک یا حسین لبیک یا حسین، الفاتحہ مع صلوات۔
السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا علي المرتضى، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى أرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بكيت وبكي الليل والنهار، ولا جعل الله الآخر عني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبو الفضل العباس وأختك زينب وبنتك سكينة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا علي زين العابدين، السلام عليك يا محمد الباقر، السلام عليك يا جعفر الصادق، السلام عليك يا موسى القاضم، السلام عليك يا علي الرضا، السلام عليك يا محمد التكي. السلام عليك يا علي النكي. السلام عليك يا حسن العسكري. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان الأمان سيدي الأمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله لك ما وعدك من الناس وظهور العام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. والفاتحة مع الصلوات.